So, in our chapter on Indo-Pak relations, there are various aspects, and I have already discussed many topics related to India, Pakistan and Jammu and Kashmir. Now, within this context, another interesting discussion I would like to make is about the Gilgit-Baltistan or the northern territories of Pakistan, what they call, or this Gilgit-Baltistan region, and how come it has become part of Pakistan. So that is a these are some of the accidents of history, I would like to say, and we lost it, not because of our fault. It is, I will say, a sheer luck of Pakistan. They got this territory. I would like to say that. Okay, so let me just talk about the topic is on Gilgit and Baltistan. Gilgit Baltistan region of Pakistan. Okay, and Jammu and Kashmir, of course, now it has become part of Pakistan, or it is the POK. Now it is in the POK. Now let us see Jammu and Kashmir. Let me just show you properly so that you will understand. See, now just see carefully. Jammu and Kashmir. This is the Jammu and Kashmir which we draw, and which we proudly claim that its boundary should be like this, and this is how this is the boundary line we are talking. But in reality, even though we claim all these things, so this is the Jammu and Kashmir we claim. So just for your understanding. So if I delete this, so this is what we draw, but in reality, this is not. So let me just add it back. So I have just brought back. Yeah. So anyway, I'll remove it, that outline which I have shown. Anyway, so now out of this, what is that India is holding right now? This is a line of control we are talking. This is a line of control. This blue line which I have drawn here, and it stopped at NJ9842. Then we have the Siachen. Then China is occupying a lot of area. That is the Aksai Chin region. I will talk about that. So what is with us right now is only this much portion which is with us, India right now. This is our Indian Kashmir right now. The rest is all with Pakistan. So now in this context, you please see. Now the place where 7 is marked. What is that 7 region? So this is the region, and this is the region which Pakistan. This is where the fighters, the the Pakistani troops and the tribal uprising where it took place, and this is the what you call their Azad Kashmir in Pakistan, or we call it as the Pakistan occupied Kashmir, that is found in 7. Now the northern region, further north of it, I have already talked about Siachen. This is the Siachen which is marked here, that you can easily see. Then further up you can see this 5 and 6 marked here. This is the Gilgit and Baltistan region. So this is the region where this northern territory, so earlier Pakistan called it as the northern territories, or the Gilgit-Baltistan region, and there is also a region which is on a Chinese country. This is a region which is which is conceded by this is what Pakistan gave it to China in 1963. This was 1963. Pakistan gave it to China. So this is the boundary, and this is Aksai Chin. Aksai Chin. This is what the China has occupied. We will talk about that in the Chinese history. And this is how this line, or this is a line of control, the LOC. And I am talking about the line of control. This is the line of control we are talking. Okay. So I hope you understood the what you call geography a bit here. Now let me come to this discussion, or what happened to this Gilgit and Baltistan. That is what I would like to discuss. Gilgit and Baltistan. What exactly happened there? See, this is the high altitude region. This is where the Karakoram mountains are there. Very, it's mountainous. It is very difficult terrain, and it is the home I mean, as we know very well, it is home to our K2 Nanga Parbat, Mount K2, or all these are located here. It is a 12 of the world's 30 tallest mountain peaks are here. 12 out of 30 world's tallest mountain peaks are located in this Gilgit-Baltistan region, and it is of strategic importance. See, now when you look at this map once again, then you will understand this is through this territory. This is China, or north of it we can see China there, and this is strategic importance because from Pakistan their entry into China. So this the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is is passing through this territory. That is why strategically it is very important. It is of great strategic significance. It is of great strategic significance for Chinese and Pakistan, and also which is known as the Karakoram Highway. Karakoram Highway. Karakoram Highway is passing through this Gilgit and Baltistan region, and also this is inhabited, and if you look at that region, and this people of this region, majority of the people are Shia Muslims. They are not Sunni Muslims. The majority Pakistani Muslim population, it is not. It is Shia Muslims, and various groups in the Gilgit region. Baltistan is inhabited by Balti people. Okay, they the tribal name Baltis. They are inhabited, or this region is inhabited by the Balti group. It's a Tibetan Muslim group. A Tibetan Muslim group. And also there is other people in the Hunza Valley. The Hunza river is here. Hunza Valley. A particular community called Burusho. Burusho community. Burusho, Burusho community in the Hunza Valley, and quite unique because a language unrelated to any other language in the world, a very unique language by the Burusho people. And also here as I said, they are Shia Muslims, so they have they are different ethnically, they are different, even in religion they are not similar to the majority Pakistanis. They are the Shia Muslims here. Now when it comes to this Gilgit and Baltistan region, this region landed in the hands of Pakistan because of two British military officers. So it is quite unfortunate. See, in fact, if you look at the history, in 1935, because of the the war was imminent, war was there. British India and China relationship we wanted to improve, and we also wanted to ensure that because China was an ally of US and British India at that time. So in 1935, because of the imminent war, British India wanted better coordination with China, and they wanted this territory to be under their control. So in 1935, Gilgit Agency, this Gilgit Agency, that is this region was known at that time, was leased to Britishers. Gilgit Agency was leased to Britain, or British India, for 60 years. British India for 60 years by the Maharaja of Jammu and Kashmir at that time, because of the strategic location and because of the war and all, they won. So, and it was administered by a political department in Delhi, and British officers were administering this Gilgit region, and they had a good military force called Gilgit Scouts. Gilgit Scouts, a good military security force called Gilgit, the military force called Gilgit Scouts were controlling this region. Now, when this partition and independence came, when the independence was imminent in 1947, the Britishers decided to terminate the lease. Britishers decided to terminate the lease and returned the territory on 1st August 1947. On 1st August 1947, Britishers handed over back, because even though it was leased for 60 years in 1935, they have handed over this territory, terminated lease and handed over this territory to Maharaja on 1st August 1947. And Maharaja immediately appointed a governor called Brigadier Ghansar Singh. Brigadier Ghansar Singh. Ghansar Singh, Brigadier Ghansar Singh was appointed as the governor of Gilgit. But the problem was that Jammu and Kashmir administration did not have enough resources, forget about financial or even military resources, to hold on to Gilgit, because Gilgit was cut off from Jammu and Kashmir because of the terrain, and especially during the winter season it is far away from Srinagar, and controlling it was extremely difficult. And in fact, they were at the mercy of, and this Gilgit region is open, geographically it is open to Pakistan. So it was, it came under the mercy of Pakistan because of the geography of this region. So even though it came in the hands of Maharaja on 1st of August 1947, unfortunately it was under the mercy of Pakistan because of the geography. And 2 British officers were leased, or rather they were on a contract duty with Maharaja, and it was Major Brown. So 2 British officers, one was Major W.A. Brown and another was Captain Mathieson. Captain A.S. Mathieson. So they were the 2 officers who were, British officers, because it was under the Gilgit Scouts. So 2 of these officers were, on contract with Maharaja to help the administration, Maharaja administration at that time. And when Maharaja Hari Singh signed the instrument of accession on 26th of October 1947. These 2 officers, this Brown and Mathieson, who were supposed to be serving Maharaja Hari Singh, they revolted, and they continued to receive instruction from their British officers, from the the political agent of Khyber. The British officers continued to receive instructions from the agent of Khyber, that means the British agent of Khyber, based in Peshawar in Pakistan. So they, instead of showing loyalty to, because they were on they were on lease or a contract with Maharaja Hari Singh, but unfortunately they were still taking orders from their British officer from Peshawar. And when Maharaja joined Indian Union, this Major Brown and this Mathieson, they imprisoned Brigadier Ghansar Singh, the governor. They imprisoned these 2 officers, imprisoned the governor, the Ghansar Singh, and they declared that they are, they are agreeing for accession of Gilgit to Pakistan. They declared that they are going for accession, Gilgit's accession to Pakistan. So this was a decision, and it has been well documented by various historians. And these 2 officers, unilaterally violating all norms, they declared that Gilgit region or Gilgit will be acceding to Pakistan and not to India. And they officially on 2nd November, so this was done within a few days, on 2nd November 1947, they even hosted the Pakistani flag in Gilgit and claimed that it is Pakistani territory. And subsequently the Pakistan government appointed a governor and all, and that is how Gilgit became part of the Pakistan, and Pakistan renamed it as the northern areas of Pakistan at that time. They renamed it as northern areas of Pakistan, and they put under a direct control of Islamabad, and northern areas were distinct from POK. They are not part of POK. or it is not part of Azad Kashmir. Azad Kashmir is different. It is not part of Azad Kashmir, and northern areas are much bigger than the POK or Azad Kashmir, and they are directly ruled by Islamabad and no democracy, nothing. In August 2009, they once again, the northern areas were once again renamed as Gilgit-Baltistan. In August 2009, this region was once again renamed as Gilgit-Baltistan. Now, so this is not even constitutionally a part of Pakistan right now, because there is no democracy, there is nothing. It is directly administered by Pakistan, but they have not even officially recognized as part of the Pakistan, but it's strategically very important territory. And a very interesting recent development took place was in March 2017. I would like to remind you this. In March 2017, in British Parliament passed a resolution confirming that this Gilgit-Baltistan as accession was wrong, and they declared that Gilgit-Baltistan is a part of Jammu and Kashmir, Indian Jammu and Kashmir. They said this Gilgit-Baltistan, so accession to Pakistan is wrong, and it is a part of Indian Jammu and Kashmir, and condemned Pakistan for making it as a province and changing the demography of the region. The motion was passed in the British Parliament announcing that it is a Gilgit-Baltistan as a legal and constitutional part of Jammu and Kashmir. British Parliament in March 2007. It may not have any immediate impact of it, but it's a big moral victory for India. British Parliament passed a resolution saying this Gilgit-Baltistan is a legal and constitutional part of Jammu and Kashmir. Legal and constitutional part of Jammu and Kashmir. So, it's a big victory for it, and it has declared that it has been illegally occupied by Pakistan since 1947. So, it is moved by a British conservative MP, but it was contrary to what Pakistan is claiming. Even Britain has admitted right now that it is an illegal occupation by Pakistan. It should have been only because of two officers. See, only because of the misadventure of two officers, maybe they were been bribed by Pakistan, whatever it is, they have agreed to join, or they have declared that Gilgit-Baltistan is acceding by even arresting or house arresting the governor of Baltistan or Gilgit-Baltistan at that time, who was supposed to be loyal to Maharaja Hari Singh. Unfortunately, they did the opposite and they joined Pakistan, and that is how this Gilgit-Baltistan region has joined Pakistan. But most importantly today, it is very, very strategically very significant for China, strategically very significant for Pakistan, because that is where the Karakoram highway is passing, and that is through this only the China-Pakistan economic corridor is passing. It is a major link for China into Arabian Sea through Pakistan. So, that is why this territory is very significant. But we have already, from India's perspective, after the Shimla agreement, we are already mentally prepared that this region is not going to come back, and that is why we want line of control should not be violated, and we want to maintain the sanctity of line of control at any cost. We are opposing only one thing: Pakistan should not violate the line of control. That is our position after the Shimla agreement. So, that is about Gilgit and Baltistan.